Republican Senator Joni Ernst is a little upset because unemployment is too low.
Help wanted. I see the signs in nearly every county I visit in Iowa on my 99-county tour. Small businesses and public services are struggling to maintain the workforce that is vital to our communities. The Des Moines Public School District, for example, has over 100 vacancies and is providing $50,000 incentives for retiring teachers, nurses, and administrators to stay in school. Faced with a declining number of soldiers, the Iowa National Guard is offering signing bonuses to new recruits, along with other incentives to encourage current members to re-enlist. Police departments across the state are also facing recruitment challenges, so the Iowa State Patrol is raising salaries and starting outreach efforts with kids as young as the 6th grade to get them to start thinking about careers in law enforcement. And this need for essential workers, well, it isn't limited to just Iowa. America is facing a shortage of teachers, doctors, nurses, child care providers, construction workers, truck drivers, pilots, and even accountants.
All right, so, oh, interesting. Oh, well, we have a shortage of all these jobs. Okay, well, do these jobs pay well? Well, let's talk about teachers for a second, right? Now, look, do teachers get paid very well? No. In fact, teachers are paid incredibly poorly. And so, gee, I wonder why there's a shortage of that. Oh, no, what about truck drivers, right? Turns out their working conditions are pretty terrible. Not a lot of people want to do that. Weird. And so, look at that. Here we have a shortage of a lot of these jobs. And yet, you also have pretty low unemployment. And she is yet pretty mad because, oh my God, can you believe it? It's gotten so bad for the corporations out there that they have to actually give people incentives and good, better pay. Oh, to come in and work. Oh my God. And what's the problem? I mean, look, for the workers, this is fantastic. I mean, yes, wages. When there's more competition, yes, wages will go up. That's great. It means the companies, you have to court the workers with more generous pay and benefits and things like hybrid work, remote work, and places where it makes sense. Wonderful. But understand that for people like Joni Ernst, who work for their corporate overlords, they hate this. They despise it. I mean, they see this as one of the worst things that could ever happen. Oh, low unemployment. Oh, my God. But see, understand in capitalism, you have to have a large pool of unemployed people. You can never have full employment under capitalism because then, well, they do the things that they're doing right now. When you have low unemployment, companies have to fight each other to attract workers. That is a win for workers. And look, workers have choice, and the companies have to do these incentives. But when regular people have to fight each other, when you have high unemployment, that's when the corporations win, because then they don't have to offer any incentives. They can just say, well, hey, look, we're pretty much the only game in town, and there's a lot of job seekers. You're just going to have to take those low wages and no benefits. You're going to take this crappy job. So you got it. What do you want to be poor? So, look, she's mad that the labor market, for once, is favorable to workers. If you're a working class person, understand that Joni Ernst is literally rooting against you. She doesn't want you to get higher pay. She doesn't want you to have good benefits. She doesn't want employers having to court you. No, she wants it the other way around. And by the way, she's not the only one. You also have members of the administration, Fed Chair Jerome Powell. So, he's chair of Federal Reserve, and you might have noticed that interest rates have been rising. So now the reason that he keeps hiking these interest rates is to quote unquote cool the economy, right? It's too hot. The economy's too hot. It's too good. There's too many jobs. There's too many jobs, and there's not high enough unemployment. Employment's too high. We have too many people working. Oh no! And again, too much competition to attract those workers, which means that the Fed is rooting for the unemployment rate to go up. They actively want more pain for you. They want more people to lose their jobs. And by the way, let me give you a quote here. This is from billionaire David Rubenstein, who is the investor and co-founder of the Carlyle Group, talking to CNN. He said this, quote, Powell can't quite say this, but if the unemployment rate goes up to 4 or 5% or 6%, inflation will probably be tamed a bit, but he can't come out and say it. I hope the unemployment rate goes to 6%. That doesn't sound politically very attractive to say that. Gee, I wonder why. Is it because millions of people would lose their jobs and workers would lose whatever semblance of power they have? Yeah. No, but again, here's the thing. They used the whole narrative of inflation. What are you going to do? We get too much inflation, and it's all your fault, by the way, because we gave you a stimulus check. You know, that $1,400 stimmy check. That's why the economy's just too hot. You know, it's all your fault. Yeah, if we just hadn't given you that stimulus check, then everything would be fine. The economy would be full steam. Would be great. Are you sure it's because of the stimulus check, or maybe it's the, I don't know, corporate handouts in the tunes of billions of dollars, or the banks who got trillions of dollars in liquidity from, oh, you guessed it, the Federal Reserve. But no, they're basically saying, no, you got too much. Your check, your unemployment benefits. Now it's your fault. See what you did. Now we're going to have to raise interest rates on you. And now, you know, corporations, which by the way, there's really no reason for corporations to have done this inflation. It's not as if you had, the price of goods and services at their point where the corporations will come in and either manufacture it or resell it. They haven't had that big of a price increase. That said, I'm not saying there wasn't any price increase. Of course there was, or I should say the increase in the costs of being able to do business as a result of, for example, supply chain issues, because that is a real issue. And that did affect the price a little bit on their end. But what they did is that they took that and then expanded it sometimes by 50%, added about 50% to what they were charging for these products, which is nothing more than price gouging. And that's what they're doing, price gouging using the guise of inflation. And then, of course, the government says, or not the government, sorry, but the Federal Reserve says, oh, look at the inflation. I guess we're going to have to cut interest rates. Or I'm sorry, we're going to have to raise interest rates because they were too low for too long. And now the economy's too hot. Too many people working. So, gee, why is it that working people always, why is it they're always told that they're the ones that have to bear the pain of the markets? You know, of what the banks did, what giant corporations have done, and through, government policy. In the case of, again, not raising wages and giving tons and tons of billions and billions of dollars to the rich. Why is it that poor people, middle-class people have to pay for that? Have to suffer for that? Why is it never the corporate CEOs who see their incomes explode during the pandemic? You have companies that got richer, CEOs that got much, much richer because they got billions of dollars in corporate handouts, like the paycheck protection loans, which, by the way, a lot of them got that money, used it to buy back their own stock, and then got it forgiven. And these same people that bitch about, student loan forgiveness. And by the way, these same corporate CEOs also gave themselves fat bonuses while laying off workers. You know how they do that? It's because they buy people off like Joni Ernst, who then come out with their stupid little sign, as if nobody knows what a help wanted sign looks like. By the way, I don't even see that going on very much. I mean, sure, you might see a help wanted sign in the window, but generally, you're going to see job postings on the internet, online. But they'll come out there with their little prop and say, oh, you know, there's just not it's just unemployment. I mean, people are just not willing to work. These companies, there's just not enough workers. That's a real problem. No, people are willing to work. And they are working. Again, that's why unemployment is so low at this point. But the ones who are not, remember, they're refusing to accept garbage wages and poor working conditions. If you're a company that's having a really hard time hiring right now, you might want to look at, I don't know, how much you're paying people. Make an adjustment there. But look, labor, what's going on is labor is finally starting to stand up, finally able to assert itself. We've seen union victories all over the country. You know, you're seeing Starbucks, you're seeing the Amazon warehouses fighting. You're seeing the Ohio teachers that have also been able to fight for wages. You're finally seeing them stand up. And the response to that from our political and economic system is to try to crush them back to the ground. Get back on your knees, working class. Did you forget who runs this place? And we're going to make sure you feel the pain. And we're going to use the people that we bought, like Joni Ernst, to deliver that pain.